Hello and welcome to the MemoryMixer Design Studio. In this tutorial I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks when making a photo book. Photo books are probably my favorite thing to do with MemoryMixer. So first I have got MemoryMixer 4 open here and the Remembering Mom QuickMix, which is a new QuickMix from Lasting Impressions. This QuickMix is 20 pages long and makes the perfect gift for mom. All you need to do is add photos. Of course you could add more text, but there are quotes throughout the book about moms and why they're so important and special to us. Okay, the first thing that I want to show you is our new photo book guides. They are turned on automatically if you have version 4, and you can see there's two different sizes here. This outside edge here, or the larger guide, would be if you're making a smaller book. Now a smaller book would be considered a 6x6 or the 5x7. Any other size book you could just go ahead and use this guide, so that would include the 8x8 or 8.5x11 or larger. However, when you're making your cover of your photo book, the front or the back cover, use this as your guide, as there is a larger area that is trimmed because it's actually wrapped around the hard binding of your book. So use this larger guide when you're designing your cover, and then use the smaller guide here when you're doing your inside pages. Now on MemoryMixer 4, this is default on. If you happen to have version 3 of MemoryMixer, you can simply come up here to View, Guides, and turn on your photo book trim area. Or if you're working in MemoryMixer version 4, this is where you'd come to turn them off. So very quick and easy, just click. Okay, also in MemoryMixer 4 we have made a few other adjustments that will make it easier. If you look down here on your thumbnails, you will see page 1, but then you also see the word cover. This lets you know this is going to be your cover page. On page 2, you see the number 2 and title page. That lets you know this will be a single page, and it's like a title page in any other book. And then page 3 will always be your first page once you have your book open, and all odd pages will now be on your left side. Even pages will be on the right side. So you can see these two pages would lay out together, these two pages would lay out together, etc. Now, if I were to scroll down here to the end of the book, you'll see the number 20 and back cover. That lets you know that that will be your back cover, which is the case. Your last page will always be your back cover in your MemoryMixer album. So let's go back to the front here. I have got my cover open. Now, how easy it is. So I simply take my photo, I drag and drop it on. Now this is actually a photo of a photo. So you can see I've got a lot of things going on here that I really don't want in my book. So I'll simply select that photo, and now I'll just use my zoom in button. Zoom in closer, and now I have it just the way I want it. I could even go into my crop window and trim it down just a little bit if I wanted to. Say OK. Now this happens to be my dad, my mom, myself as a baby, and my great-grandma. So I love this little book here. So I am my mom's oldest, so this is when she first became a mom. I thought that was a neat thing for Mother's Day. So I've got my picture here, and now I can decide how I want to arrange it on my page. I think what I want to do is I'm going to select all the other embellishments here, and I did that just by going outside of my canvas, holding my left mouse button down, selecting just by dragging across everything, and you can see it's all selected because of the gray boxes. And now I'm just going to scoot it down just a little bit. And you can also see there is a white overlay back here. I'm just going to make sure it's positioned good, but it does look fine, so no problem there. And now I'm going to simply click back out here on my canvas area, and now nothing is selected. I'm going to select my photo, and I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. Maybe a -2 is good. And now I'm going to use my layering shortcut found here at the top, and I'm just going to drop it behind. You can see I went too far, so I'll bring it forward one more layer. And I may resize that just by grabbing the corner and dragging. Remember, when you were resizing a photo, you always want to do it from the corners, otherwise it will skew your photo. Okay, that's tucked in nicely there. Now, it actually looks like you could see this text okay, but I'm going to go ahead and reposition it down here just a little bit and resize it. Maybe just a little smaller. And maybe I'll position the photo down just a little bit more there. Okay, so once you have your text things the way you want, I'm going to go ahead and add a drop shadow to my photo. Just adds a little more dimension, and I think I'm going to add a matte. Currently, I'm really liking just a plain white matte, so that's what I'm going to go for. Just say OK, and now I have that on my page, and I think that looks nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next page, and you'll see it is just a quote. That's the title page. Now remember, you can add photos, you can add additional text here. This is just a nice little definition of mother, and I'm going to just leave that as is. And now this is my left-hand side of my first double page layout when I open my book. And again, it just has another quote about inspiration. And that quote was put in there. I mean, mothers are inspiring to all of us. And so I think that is a nice quote. If you wanted to add additional text or if you wanted to use a different quote, simply select it and hit your delete key. Or you can simply reposition it and now you can add additional text or delete it and add a quote of your own. So I'm going to go ahead and undo and just leave that as is. I'll move on to my next page. And with all quick mixes, remember you can personalize them. So if you didn't want the flower positioned here, simply select it and reposition it the way you want. Otherwise, you will simply drag your photos in and finish your book. Now, if you want to add additional photos, drag in as many as you want. If you notice through the book here, the layout consists of a quote on the left-hand side with photos on the right-hand side. These photo frames here are actually backgrounds that have been turned into the photo frames, so they do not have transparent pixels. So just remember, as you're dragging your photos in, you want to hover on this outside edge here. You will see the box turn to yellow and you can then release the photo into it. Or you could reposition the frame, drag your photo in, and then reposition the frame back. Or what I like to do too is I'll select the frame, I will copy it using my shortcut up here, then I will delete it. Now I can easily drag my photo in, and then I just press the copy and my photo frame is back where it was originally. So you can see how easy it is to use a full book quick mix to create something special for your mom. Happy mixing, and thanks for stopping by the MemoryMixer Design Studio.